Today I'm going to be building a walkway from our porch down to our gazebo area. There's already kind of like a desire path like in our grass, so I'm going to kind of try to just like follow that but make it look smooth and nice. I'm going to be making the walkway out of bricks. We have the sand already. At our last house we tore down an old chimney, and we're going to be using those bricks from the old chimney if there's enough. It's going to be a lot of work, but I have to bring all the bricks over and kind of lay them out to see if there's even enough. Here we got our pile of bricks. These all kind of have to be cleaned up a little bit and flattened out with like a hammer flat because they still kind of have the mortar on them. So this is going to be a pretty big project. Kind of getting over a sickness right now. And my body is like not wanting to do this. These bricks have been sitting here for 2 years and we've been putting it off and putting it off, and I think it's just time. This is Katie's dog, by the way, Noelle. She likes to hang out with me. She's kind of a scaredy cat, so she likes to be around whoever's outside. I've never worked with bricks before, but I'm starting to learn one thing, is that it looks like, oh, I have plenty. And then you start laying bricks on the ground and you're like, oh, I'm gonna need about 1 million more. So I'm just laying them out right now. For one, to see how far they'll go. I just have like a Pinterest board full of different ideas.
We may not be experts at teaching you how to build a brick pathway, but there are experts that can teach you things. Thank you so much to Skillshare for being the first ever sponsor of our YouTube channel. I actually mentioned this in a video recently where I talked about wanting to learn how to do composition and lighting in painting. And I want to learn so many other skills as well, but that's where Skillshare will come in so handy. With the classes and learning paths on Skillshare, it's been so easy to navigate through and find something that's going to help me in these areas that I want to progress. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Skillshare can help take your careers, skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. They not only have individual classes on whatever topic you're looking for, they have learning paths as well, which are curated sequential class collections to master a specific skill or competency. They have classes in everything from film, illustration, animation, design, entrepreneurship, art. They have so many different categories to choose from. Skillshare just recently announced that they have a new and improved class system that includes smarter class categories. They have 3 new class topics as well, which include creative careers, creative inspiration, and AI and innovation, and the ability to find classes by software and material. If you're a new member, it'll ask you to share a little bit about your interests and your goals, and then it will suggest different classes for you based on those interests. And I don't know about you guys, but because the weather is starting to get a little crummier and we're stuck inside, this is now for me the thing that I'm going to be doing all of my winter. I want to learn so many different things. And if you have that extra time, if your kids are in school or you're wanting to learn a new hobby or an interest or a skill, that's what I feel like I'm going to be doing this entire winter. If I'm going to be stuck inside due to the rain and the weather, I want to be learning. The first 500 people to use our link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you guys can get started today. So again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of today's video.
Something like this, and then we'll have it come down to however many bricks this is wide, like 6 bricks here, and then it'll widen back out here, and then the garden bed will be here. Put another garden bed on the other side. Our yard is kind of sloped. It's high over here and then it's sloping this way. So I'm gonna have to dig this side way down and then dig this side obviously a couple inches higher than the brick so I can put sand down. I'm gonna try to dig it all flush, level it all out with sand. This is gonna be a big project. But before I do that, I wanna get the shape so I can kind of come through and slice out the shape. I have an edging tool and just slice out the shape, and then I can dig it all out and flatten it and then come back through and pack in the sand. All right, today's a new day. What I've done is just cleared the pathway that we marked out. I laid down a bunch of sand, and now all I'm gonna do is just rake it out and try to level it as best I can. And then it's gonna be different for every brick, so it's not gonna need to be perfectly flat and level. The grade of our property, like the ground, is not even. And rather than having like some bricks be above ground or like all of it be like well below ground, I'm just gonna try to make it even with the grass on both sides. And that'll also allow the water to just flow off kind of downhill because it's kind of at a slope like this. So it'll just allow it to flow that way. And hopefully while you're walking along the path, it won't be like noticeable, but it'll be enough for the water to just find the easiest path down the hill. I've never made anything like out of reclaimed bricks. And we've only ever made like a couple of paths using flagstones. And it's kind of a pain in the ass no matter which way you look at it. So I don't really know the right way to do it other than I've watched a couple of YouTube videos saying like to dig it down, put a couple inches of gravel or sand. We're using sand right now. And then I'm gonna compact this a little bit after I spread it out a little bit better. I'm gonna compact it with a hand tamper, and then I'm gonna start laying bricks. So, yeah. So it might be kind of hard to see from that angle. I am gonna try to brick lay these with just what we have available as far as like broken pieces. So some are broken basically in half and some are not. So I'm just really gonna try to make this work. And I'm gonna try to level it as best I can with the foundation of the gazebo. So I'm no expert at this, but yeah, you'll see. You'll see what we're doing. It'll all make sense. So I already recorded a bunch. There wasn't space on the card, so the camera was just on. Wasted a bunch of time there. Today, I'm gonna be fixing this path. I started building it a couple weeks ago and I kind of screwed it up. I ran out of bricks. I built it a little bit too wonky to walk on comfortably. So I went, got bricks, started working on it again. I'm really sick of looking at it half finished. I'm just gonna get it as best I can. It's not gonna be perfect. The next time I do a path of any kind, I'm gonna make sure it's completely level and completely square, because the first path that I'm doing is not level and it's not square by any means. It's like a wonky, wavy, fairy tale sort of, I don't know, what do you even call it? Whimsical looking path. More frustrating than anything, so.
Now that the path was all finished being laid out, it was time to add sand. So you can do a couple of different things here. You can add polymeric sand, but we chose to just do regular sand. We didn't want to add plastic or any sort of synthetic material into the yard like a polymeric sand, which is honestly more long lasting and more stable, but we like the look of the sand. And one compliment we've gotten a lot with having this brick pathway since it's been finished is that it looks like it's been here forever. It doesn't look brand new. And that would be thanks to the salvaged brick, but also I think the sand. It just looks really rustic and lived in. And that is the finished path. We finished by watering it in as well. So after we pushed all of the sand throughout all of the bricks and really pushed it down, we watered it in as well and then went over the top of it again with a little bit more sand. We'll have to do this every now and again because it does start to come out of some of the spots, but overall, that's how you make a brick pathway. I would say it's easy, but this took like a month. You guys saw it in a 15-minute video, but it was a process.
You took my sand.
I took your sand?
Yeah.
Honey, this sand is for this. The sand is for projects around the house.
No, it's for my sand pile.